to this special edition of Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and we continue to go all around the world. Today, I'm talking to somebody from Australia. She is the 2021 finalist for the Queensland Music Awards. She's a singer-songwriter. Please welcome Tayiha. Tayiha, how are you doing today?
Hello. Thank you. I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing awesome as always. So tell me, how are things in Australia, especially with everything that's going on?
Um, it's a little crazy at the moment. We've been in and out of lockdown. Um, yeah, it's just kind of irritating, especially being a performer, um, not being able to perform all the time. It's really tough, but it's
So
good
what are the
besides that.
what are the restrictions over there for the performers? Are you allowed to do anything at all?
Um, I think it's kind of slowing down at the moment, so I'm hoping to get back into gigging. But there definitely was a period in time where um, everyone just kind of had to quarantine, so we couldn't really perform, we couldn't do anything unless it was online, so a little tough.
Okay. Yeah, and you've been performing for a few years now. You've been performing since I guess you were 6, so it's kind of like all
Yes.
you know to do, and to have your hands
Yep.
tied like that, it's got to be pretty frustrating. So, how do you combat that? Do you do a lot of social media stuff, or are you just working on your craft in the meantime?
Yes, so I'm on Instagram mainly, Facebook, YouTube. Um, it's kind of easy because I'm in and out of the studio, so it's just kind of with one producer, and I'm able to do that even if it was quarantine because it's technically work. Also doing music videos and publishing them on YouTube, so everything's kind of online, and yeah, but I mean it helps out a lot. So
Okay. And you mentioned music videos. You got a new one that's fairly recent out called Out of Range. Tell me a little bit about that.
yes, so Out of Range is my newest single. That one was probably the toughest music video to film just because there was a bit of a weather change. It wasn't supposed to rain and it started raining, so we kind of had to put that into it, but it actually turned out really well. So I think that was one of my favorite music videos to film, and it's one of my favorite songs. So
Yeah, and I think it kind of actually worked out to the vibe of the song to have that rain coming out.
definitely,
And
yeah.
so, how did you come up with that song?
It was kind of I was in kind of a mental state where I was sick of writing love songs and like breakup songs, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I wanted to write something a little more deep, and so this one's kind of about taking a break from your phone, getting out of the city, kind of learning a more simple life, and I felt like I was going through that. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, and we talked a little bit about the pandemic, and here in the United States of America, while the pandemic was going on, we were heavily locked down as far as having to be social distance. A lot of people kind of had that attitude, and people were buying recreation vehicles and
Yeah.
campers and everything, and taking that trip. So I guess it was kind of fitting for you to do that. So why don't we go ahead and play Out of Range here on Hank's Corner?
Cool.
Leaving these city lights on this nighttime drive, somewhere up the coast, missing those exit signs. I've been getting high, high on the morning rise. I sit and manifest in the view of a pretty skyline. Every piece of me is moving with the breeze, searching for my melody, 'cause I'm like waves of the sea. I don't need nothing more, standing out on the shore, past life I've been there before. I'm in. Horizon starts to drift. I'm trying to get lost again and escape everything for a little bit, letting go of the strain on me. Cause baggage is the last thing that I need. I got this idea I can be free. Now I'm just taking my time, here in this chill state of mind. I wanna change my focus, see things I never noticed. I let the world just fall away when I'm out of range. So I'm headed down a one-way road. Don't know the plan or where I'm gonna go. There's something about the state of unknown. Yeah, I found space for liberty, some kind of inner peace. No need to try and find me. Leaving these city lights on this nighttime drive, somewhere up the coast, missing those exit signs. I've been getting high, high on the morning rise. I sit and manifest in the view of a pretty skyline.
All right, welcome back to Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and that was Out of Range by Taya. So tell me a little bit about, I mean, like I said, I know you started when you were young, but how did you really, start getting into music?
Yeah, so I started kind of songwriting when I was about 8, but didn't really kind of professionally, I guess, get into it until I was about 13, 14. When I was 14, I got about 3 of my singles produced. And I mean, it's always kind of been something that I've wanted to do. Songwriting has always been something that I've just naturally kind of been doing. So I just ended up putting those out into the world, I guess. And that's how
And you mentioned that at 8 you started doing some songwriting, and if I'm not mistaken, you did a song kind of about social bullying. Tell me a little bit about that because at 8 years old, that's kind of an older topic. So how did you come
yeah.
across that? Was that something that you were facing or that you saw, or?
Yeah, I was a little bit bullied when I was in primary school. So I guess I kind of got inspiration from that. I mean, it's I feel like a topic that is important to talk about, especially like surrounding like mental health and stuff. And I think a lot of people go through it, and having a song to kind of listen to that you relate to, I feel like is very important. But I never actually ended up putting that online, so no one's actually heard it. But it's there. It is a real song.
Right, right. And maybe one of these days you'll put it out just to, have it out there. But,
Maybe.
I do appreciate that topic because for those who, listen or watch me here at Hank's Corner, when I do talk with some of the artists that, bring up these topics, I always tell them it's near and dear to me, whether it's mental health or the social bullying. I think that
Yeah.
that's a great thing because I believe that singers and other music artists and anybody in general that has a platform should be able to use that and have some good and social awareness from that.
100%. Yeah.
And so you play both, I guess, the piano and the guitar, a little bit more so the piano. Did
Yes.
you teach yourself that, or did you go to school for that?
I've had like 1 or 2 teachers when I was about like 7, but since then I've just been self-taught. It's kind of how I write all my music. Guitar, I had one teacher when I was about 13, and then now I kind of do it myself. But yeah, I'm definitely more on the piano, but I'm hoping to get into guitar a little bit more.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about some of your influences. I saw some of them, like some powerhouse singers, like, Whitney Houston, and then,
Yeah.
some other ones. Tell me about your influences and how that came about.
Ooh, I feel like one of my biggest influences is probably Alicia Keys. I just kind of like her songwriting process, and she's written a lot of songs that talk about real world problems, and like for example the "We Are Here" song. That's one of my favorites of hers, um, and that's kind of the direction I'd like to lean towards. But there's also like Ellie Goulding. I'm a fan of her. I take a lot of inspiration from her kind of music. Um, yeah, Gabby Barrett.
Okay. And many people have described you as kind of a early Taylor Swift. What do you say to that?
That's a very big thing to say. I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not really a country artist, so I don't really see any similarities. But I feel like definitely with songwriting. I mean, I know that she started really early in her career, so probably with something like that. Those are kind of the similarities. Um,
Okay. And Taylor wrote a lot about her personal experiences. Do you do that as well? Are there some exes out there that might be shamed in some of the songs that you're writing?
maybe I'll name drop them one day. Maybe, but no, definitely. I mean, I take inspiration from my own life, but also like putting myself in other people's shoes. I think is important. Just because like I'm so young, I'm only 16, so I haven't experienced that much in the world. But yeah, I take inspiration from both, I guess.
Okay. And then you had another song out that was Gotta Be More Than This. Tell me a little bit about that one.
Yeah, so that song was kind of about a toxic relationship, feeling like you're kind of putting your all into something and you're just getting nothing back. But like not being able to let go of that person, whether that's like a relationship, whether that's a friendship, whether that's a family member, not being able to let go of that person because you love them. So that was kind of where I was at when I wrote that.
Okay. And was that also based on life experience, or we don't mention?
We don't mention that. No.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and play that here on Hank's Corner.
I thought I needed more of you and less of me. Try to chase perfect, 'cause I thought that's what you wanted. Keeping up left me empty. You seem so together, like it couldn't get better. I did anything 'cause I felt deep in love, 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 love. I was holding on to you way too tight, when I know you'll never be the right guy. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. Don't make another promise that you can't keep, telling me you'll be who you'll never be. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. Told me to trust and that I shouldn't give this up. I know you will never come through. This was one-sided, but still I was so blinded. And now I know we were never true. Love, love. I was holding on to you way too tight, when I know you'll never be the right guy. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. telling me you'll be who you'll never be. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. I left before you could. I want you to know this is for good. I won't lie, I loved you then. Couldn't handle my heart breaking. Stepping out of your space, there was only so much I could take. We both know that I tried. Ain't what love's meant to be like. I was holding on to you way too tight, when I know you'll never be the right guy. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. Don't make another promise that you can't keep, telling me you'll be who you'll never be. And I'm still not sure what love is, but it's gotta be more than this. I know it's gotta mean everything to me, more than this, yeah. More than this.
And that was Gotta Be More Than This by Taya here on Hank's Corner. I'm Hank Jr., and Taya is all the way out in Australia. What part of Australia are you in?
Like an hour outside Brisbane, Queensland area. You probably don't know where that is, but
Okay, yeah, and for
in
those
like
who
the
don't know that
southwest.
are listening, is that north, south,
East Coast?
east coast? Okay,
Yeah.
and so I guess you were born and raised there.
Yes. And the same
Okay.
house. The exact same house.
Oh, okay. All right. And so tell me a little bit about 2021 for you. We're starting new in 2022, but tell me about 2021. Was it a good year? I know I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that you were a finalist for the Queensland Music Awards, and you had some videos out, but in your opinion, how was the year for you?
It was definitely a busy year. I felt like I was kind of doing a lot more, especially with music. And I felt like it was kind of like, obviously I've been doing music for a while, but I felt like that was where my music career was kind of starting. Like really, because I started getting kind of a little bit of attention. People started actually listening to my music, and that's cool. So I'm really excited for 2022. But
Yeah, and you mentioned people listening to your music, and I saw your post where you had 33,000 streams and
yeah,
16,000 plus listeners. But what's very interesting that I always find when I see that graphic is that it was in 133 countries. So that's kind of like the power of social media, that it just goes all
yeah.
over the place. What did you think when you got your stats back?
I mean, I didn't even know there were that many countries. I'm gonna be honest. Um, and it's crazy though, because I look at like the algorithms and who follows me on like Instagram and Facebook. And on Instagram, there's like you can see all the main countries, I guess, that follow you with the more amount of people. And like the top one's Brazil, and then the next
Oh.
one's like the United States, and then I don't like Italy, I think, and then Australia. It's super weird. I don't know where that came from, but
So Australia is not
that's
even on the top of the list. That is kind of unusual.
I'm offended. I'm so offended.
Well, like I said, I wouldn't be offended, but it's the power of the internet, and we get to reach more places, and especially during the times of lockdown. I think that that's actually great, and
Yeah,
good for you to have that many streams this year.
thank you. Appreciate it.
So into 2022, do you have any goals or anything that you're shooting for, whether it's personally or musically?
Ooh, um, I'm not sure. I feel like I'd like to grow a lot more spiritually when it comes to my personal life. I think music-wise, maybe put out an EP, but I'm not too sure yet. Just kind of continue with what I'm doing. Um, yeah, and just put out a lot more music. I'd like to broaden my genres when it comes to music. I feel like I kind of set myself into just like pop, just a pop place with no kind of like subgenres. So I want to kind of explore like country pop and like a bit of rock and a bit of like hip hop, just to kind of find my sound. I think would be.
Yeah, and now's the time to do that. It's interesting when I talk to a lot of different artists and they tell me that, either a producer or an executive says, well, you know, we don't know where to put you. You're either, a little too much pop or a little too much country, a little R&B. But at your age, I think that that's kind of great to get out there, like you said, and kind of feel around and ultimately develop your craft. And, maybe when you're 20, 21, that's when you start kind of honing in to where you think you fit in best.
Definitely. But I'm also hoping to learn production. At the moment, I have a producer who produces my music. But I'm hoping to do a production course, so I'm going to learn to produce my own music and kind of do everything, if that makes sense.
Yeah, got to have your hands in everything. I know a lot of people that like to do that. And so,
Yeah.
one of the other songs that we're going to go ahead and play, the third and final song, is "Good Energy." And tell me about that, because I guess that's what you have. You have a lot of energy, and like I said, you want your hands all over. So, tell me about the song.
Yeah, so Good Energy was very different to what I've written before. This one was a lot more positive, nothing to do with boys or anything like that. It was kind of just like about taking out all the negativity within myself, all the negative people in my life, and letting them go, and just kind of growing mentally, physically, just kind of becoming a better person. So, yeah.
All right, well, let's go ahead and play "Good Energy."
I've taken too many falls, still I didn't lose at all. Feels like they're all trying to shut me down, but I keep on moving, won't turn around. They're testing my patience, got no room for bad intentions. Oh, I'm really trying not to blame them. Maybe it's all they know, all they know. I stay in my lane, I'm not gonna break, won't give in to this pain anymore. Positive thoughts and opportunities, only good people, only good energy. Can take my time with the light that's around me. Only good energy, only good energy. I put up a stronger fight, and I'm taking back my own life. I know how to heal my space, sorting out the real ones from the fake. I stay in my lane, I'm not gonna break, won't give in to this pain anymore. Positive thoughts and opportunities, only good people, only good energy. Can take my time with the light that's around me. Only good energy, only good energy. They're testing my patience, got no room for bad intentions. Oh, I'm really trying not to blame them. Maybe it's all they know, all they know. Positive thoughts and opportunities, only good people, only good energy. Can take my time with the light that's around me. Only good energy,
So welcome back to Hank's Corner. That was Good Energy by Taya. She is a singer-songwriter out of Australia. And so Taya, I appreciate you coming on to Hank's Corner. And I hope that 2022 is successful for you. I know you have a lot on your plate, with schooling and everything else, but I hope that the lockdown kind of releases a little bit and you could get out there and perform. Um, if things were to open up completely and you had the resources, where are some of the places that you would like to perform?
Um, like every state in America, specifically the South. Like I
Okay.
actually want to move to the South, so that would be really cool.
Okay.
I'm trying to think, probably the UK. Brazil would be really cool since I have a lot of fans from
That's
there.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, just kind of everywhere, really. I just want to travel everywhere.
Okay. Well, I am in the south of the United States. I'm in Florida, so if you ever come down this way, I guarantee I'd
Jealous.
have a front row seat at your concert. So, once again,
Uh,
Taya, I appreciate you coming on, and like I said, I wish you success in 2022.
Thank you for having me.